All right, welcome to Marketing Moxie's webinar on Facebook's business timeline changes, major changes happening to your business and fan pages. They are changing over automatically tomorrow. That's Friday, March 30th, 2012. All business and fan pages will be going to this timeline model. I am Adrienne Fritze. I'm your presenter today, and I am Marketing Moxie's strategist and planner, and also business coach. Also on the line is my partner, Colin Fritz Moore, and he is our technology guru. He does all of the WordPress development for our clients, any of the technology behind the newsletters that we send out, etc. Say hi, Cole. Hi.
Mike, it was off for a moment.
Okay. All right, well, let's dive right in. Just to let you know, after each segment of the presentation, I will take everyone off mute, and then you can ask questions at that time. All right, here we go. We're going to cover the 7 major changes happening to Facebook business and fan pages. We'll start off with the cover photo and profile image. If you look at our little example here, you'll see how much real estate is now being given over to the business page. It's wider, and we have an opportunity to really showcase, get your look and feel out through this cover photo and profile image, and we'll go through the particulars of that in the next slide. We're also looking at the larger highlighted and pinned posts, just 3 different ways of using posts on your timeline to organize information and get the word out about your company, product, or project. Milestones is a wonderful way of telling the company's story through a timeline, through history. And again, the milestones are full width across, and it just really is quite a wonderful addition to what you're able to do with your business pages now. Applications, which were formerly called tabs. Tabs are out, applications are in, and there is an implication with that. That's sort of bad news on the one hand, but ultimately it's good news for those of us who have business pages. Facebook offers are similar to coupon offers. They are available for large companies like Starbucks at this point, not the small business owner. However, Facebook does intend to allow us to have those later, so we'll just touch on that topic lightly. And then we have a combination of the tools that you use to assess where you are in your campaigns and how your web page is doing, your Facebook page is doing. But they've combined it all into a single admin panel. So your insights are there, all of the administration is there, and then they've added messaging where your fans of your page can message you in private, so it doesn't always have to be posted on the timeline, which is great if there are any sensitive questions or just questions that people want answered directly from you. And finally, we'll take a look at Facebook advertising. Mainly, we're looking at the sponsored story format that Facebook has chosen that is much more effective than ads have been in the past. All right, let's get to the next page. This is the most visible change that you'll see on the business and fan pages at this point, which is this cover photo and profile image. It's large. It's a big piece of real estate, 851 pixels across and no more than 315 pixels high. This is your opportunity to set the stage for how your fans, your customers, your visitors relate to you. So you want to think carefully about how to use this space. Now, there's some limitations as to what you can do with this. In the past, when new visitors would come to the site, you'd be able to force them to a sign up tab or a like tab, etc. Well, tabs are no longer available, and you cannot force visitors to any particular application. And additionally, you're not able to encourage them to like or share or sign up or sell anything through the cover photo. This is strictly to set the tone for how people relate to you, your business, and the web page on Facebook, your web page. You also cannot have any calls to action. Get it now, tell your friends. You can't offer any discounts, etc. So again, there's no calls to action on this page. Contact information does not go on this page because it resides in the About section. No email addresses, none of that. Just a beautiful, striking image that will set the tone for how visitors react to your business page on Facebook. The profile image is 180 by 180 pixels, so you'll want to design that to really help people identify with you. So in most cases, you'll see a logo in that area. We've seen other pages where the logo melts into the cover photo page as well. But the examples we'll look at today is the profile image will actually be the logo of this particular site. I'm going to point out a couple other things here. First of all, when you go to make this image, your cover photo image, you want to have this be as high resolution as possible because it does stretch a full 851 pixels. So you can load images that are not as narrow, but make sure again that it's a high resolution image so that if it does get stretched, that it still looks good and is not pixelated on the screen. Here are some of the other elements on the page. So here's our like button. Again, you cannot force people to look there first or hit the like button through your cover photo, but there's a way around that, which we'll get to in a subsequent slide. This here is where people can message in private you and your company. And then, of course, next to that is your page administration. This is your About section. This is the area where you do want to have your web address, email, mailing address, telephone number, contact information, etc. And then over here, these four items are called apps. Sorry about that. We'll go back. And these formerly used to be called tabs. Photos is always the same, and whatever is the last photo that you posted to your business page on Facebook will be the image that shows up there. You cannot move that particular item here. But the rest of these are flexible. This drop-down box will show up to 12 different applications, and so you can choose carefully the 3 that you want here at the top and then any additional applications below that. And of course you can go beyond 12, but Facebook is only showing the first 12 applications. The other wonderful thing is that you are able to design the images for these thumbnails specifically for that section, and that's what we've done here is we've created a subscribe image to go with the e-news sign up for Uncover Our Hearts, and we also chose the events app because we have events coming up for that organization, and we designed an image specifically for that as well. And also likes, you're not able to change the image. It will always be the thumbs up and the number of fans that you have. So the good news is that we do have larger areas. As I said, it's 851 pixels wide. In this case, when you get down into the body of the page, the width is 843 pixels. It's just a little narrower than the cover image. But what's great about this here is you have your timeline with on the left was your posts and on the right are your fans and friends posts or a combination of their posts and yours. But you can have feature posts like this one in this screen. This feature post spans the entire width of the timeline. So again, you want to pay attention to the resolution of the images that you're using if you intend to feature a topic, one of your posts. And down here, this is what's called a pinned post. So even though we can't drive traffic to our like button or really have any call to action in that cover photo, you can pin a post to the top of your timeline on the left-hand side, and it will stay there for up to 7 days. And when you press the edit button to pin this little orange flag will show up so people know that that's an important post. And so this particular post will stay up for a full 7 days. And this post is actually on this site is encouraging shares and likes for the page. Here we have milestones, and this is a really interesting and potentially exciting aspect to the new business pages. With milestones, you can click anywhere on the timeline, and that's the actual physical line that is drawn in the center of the page. You can put milestone information in anywhere along your timeline. And many companies like Coca-Cola and some of the bigger companies are using that to tell the story of the history of their companies. Again, you want to use big, beautiful images. That's your opportunity there. You can do storytelling. You've got your date, et cetera here. Many of the larger sites that have already been betaing this timeline version for the business sites are finding that their fans, their visitors, are spending a considerable amount more time because of these milestone additions. Folks are just finding it really interesting to the degree that some are spending 1 to 2 hours on some of these sites. It's really quite incredible. And you just have a complete opportunity to cross-sell or upsell your services or just share the heart and meat of your company through these milestones. I'm going to pause here for a moment and see if there are any questions.
Well, how do you actually go about making a timeline, and how much information can you put into them?
The way to make it, I'm going to switch screens here for a moment. So the way that you create a timeline, we're going to go to the actual Uncover page. Look here, you can see the physical line here, and when you put the cursor over it, it turns to a plus symbol. You can click on that line anywhere and include any of these items, but let's do the milestone. It opens up a dialog box. You fill in whatever the milestone event was, the location if you choose, the date. You can go right down to the day and fill that in. And then you can, again, we haven't found a limit to how much of a story you can put in there, but I think you want to be judicious and not have it all be text, because you can see from the previous screen that the text comes first, and text-heavy sites are not necessarily well-read sites. So after you fill in all your information, you can choose photos that are on your business page on Facebook, or you can upload from a resource, your hard drive or external drive, etc. And then you just click Save. Are there any other questions? Okay, we'll move on. Applications. So these used to be called tabs, and they no longer are. Before, and our company used to do this for our clients as well, you could have a specific application, a web page, a sign-up page, a Like Us page, any of those call to action types of pages, a landing page, as your main tab. So when people would first visit your site, or well, there were any number of ways that you can have that site forced onto your page visitor. You no longer can do that. All of the things that used to be tabs are now applications, and you'll find them in that section just below the cover photo image. They're very easy to edit. You just click on the little pencil and a drop-down box happens in that area, and you can go to edit settings here. You can also, once you have all your apps loaded and all of your images loaded for each of those apps, you can also swap their positions. So you can just quickly add your apps and then go in and swap positions. You see that right here, swap position with one of your other applications, formerly tabs. And then you just click on the one that you want to replace it with. You can also edit the settings from this dialog box here. You can uninstall the app if you wish, and you can also link to the tab. It'll give you a pop-up box with the URL to this particular tab that you can then include in your newsletters or in a post, etc. Before we go to Facebook offers, are there any questions around tabs or applications? Okay. Facebook offers. As I said, these are like coupons. These offers can be redeemed both as in-store or online. So these are physical coupons that people can take, or they can take their little phone with them, their smartphone, and like Einstein Brothers will honor the offer that they placed on their business page, or again online. Offers is in beta. So what that means is they're just working with larger businesses now, but Facebook has promised to make this program widely available to small businesses. So it's good to know that offers exist, and you can plan ahead for it, but we don't know when that'll be released. You can check out the Marketing Moxie page on Facebook, and we'll make sure that people are up to date with all the changes and all the new things that are coming down the pipe. Hi, Brian. Unmute your microphone. You can introduce yourself and let folks know who you are and what business you're in. Brian's plugging in.
How's that? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Hi,
Wonderful.
Brian.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. I got tied up with a customer, but that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. We'll be editing the presentation and reposting it later, so you'll catch up on all the stuff later. So, Brian, why don't you let folks know who you are, where they can find your Facebook pages, and I think that's probably it.
All right. Well, my name's Brian Wilkes. I'm on Facebook. My Facebook name is Brian Wilkes, but also Find New Hope after the slash behind Facebook. I have pages for, I have a separate page for each publication of mine, and I'm primarily in online publishing, web design, social marketing, and different types of consulting. And so I've got a number of publications listed which you can link to through my page.
Awesome.
And yeah, so it's, I'd say probably I do about half of my marketing right now through Facebook, and also through excuse me, a little brain freeze here, insufficient coffee. Also through mailing lists that I've developed over the years. My biggest mailing list is for Cherokee language.
Excellent.
So I have a lot of Cherokee-related things, but I'm trying to break out of the Native American niche because, as we know, it's kind of a small niche and not a whole lot of loose money clanging around in there.
Very true. All right. So when we get to the end of the presentation, Brian, I will go back to the beginning of it and just quickly go over each of the slides to see if there's any questions or anything that we can show you around this, if that works for you.
Of course.
Excellent. So we just finished with offers, and we're going to go to the next slide, which is really about administering your page. So before, your insights were separate from admin, and there was no way for people to personally message you. They always had to post their questions or concerns, etc., on your page. Well, some folks don't want to do that. Some people want to be able to just directly connect with you and get their answers personally. So we're just going to quickly go over the different elements here. Notifications, so this is any new post that's showing up on your page, on your timeline. It gives you a running total of new likes, and you can always click to see all and see everyone who's liked your page, send them a personal thank you. Any number of ways of connecting with these folks. This is the insight box. This page is brand new, so there's not a lot to see, but at least we did have some activity happening here. You click see all, and that will take you to the full insight scenario screen, so you can look at every aspect of the likes, who's talking about this, etc. Over here is where your private messages show up, and then down here are any tips. So you can just run through a whole bunch of tips by clicking on next to orient yourself to this page. Also up here, this manages your business page, so any editing that you want to do on your page happens in this area. And then your advertising or building your audience, so this includes share, advertise, personal messages, etc. is under this tab here, and then of course help. It's pretty straightforward. Do you have any questions about this at this point?
Just a moment. I'm moving my microphone out of position. I don't have any questions at the moment. I know that this is going to be a fantastic tool and a big improvement over the way things have been done, and I just need to get caught up and up to speed.
Yes.
So
okay. One of the things
drinking it all in.
Okay. One of the really amazing things that's happened is that it's much easier to change the name of your page. So once you have 25 fans or more, of course you can have a unique URL, as you know, and now it's very, very easy to change your page. We're going to move right into advertising then, which is the next big topic for us.
Well, it sounds like then what they're doing is they're incorporating into the pages some of the features that were in the group feature before this last round of changes.
That may be so. I'm not as familiar with groups.
Making it a little more interactive with the with your list.
Absolutely. When we go back, you'll see some really amazing things that they're doing with Milestones, the way that you can pin posts, etc. One of the things I talked about earlier is that you can no longer force your visitors to a particular tab landing page, but they have compensated with a feature capability, but I'll show you that in a little bit. Facebook advertising really is pretty good in terms of your investment, your return on investment. What they've done is they've revamped it, however, so it's much more powerful. They're applying a technology that they call the reach generator, and they claim to be able to reach up to 75% of your fan base. And then, in addition, because they're pushing people to do the sponsored story type of posts versus straight up ads. Because it's content driven, it finds a much more fertile home in the sponsored story scenario, and so it's showing up. It can show up on the right hand of the homepage just like a regular ad does. Shows in your news feed on the homepage. They even got it worked out for mobile. And then there's the possibility of a logout experience. I haven't done that. I'm sure it's expensive. But it's a great opportunity. I mean, you've got a captured audience right there, and you can just give them this big, beautiful whatever, a video, image, etc. that can go there. And this over here on the left-hand side is also just another example of kind of a sponsored story setup. You post on your page, Facebook, if you choose this as one of your featured stories, Facebook then can take that automatically and just distribute it across its users who have their preferences set similar to the ones that you've set in your advertising campaign. And we explain here too that if people are not connected to your brand, in other words, they're not your fan yet, it's going to show up as a regular ad on the right-hand side of the page. But your fans, your friends of fans, anybody connected to your existing fans, it'll start to show up in the post streams, the news feeds, which is fabulous. The smaller guys, you can't necessarily pay for that placement, but they are randomly placing the smaller advertisers, even if it's just $10 a day that you're spending, they're placing those across the board on the appropriate news feeds on other fans and friends of fan sites, which is really great. I mean, that's the kind of exposure. You can't control that exposure, but at least it is happening for the smaller folks. Facebook has two PDFs that I'll make available when we post the video. One, it talks about the reach generator, which really is for larger companies, but they also talk about premium on Facebook, which those of us who want to do sponsored stories, we would go with that package. And they claim that there's 5 to 10% or 5 to 10 times more engagement using the right hand and in newsfeed placement this way than they've been doing it in the past. Do you have any questions or comments or anything you've heard about advertising, Facebook advertising?
Not yet. I'll tell you the truth. I haven't actually used it for myself or any of my clients yet because I'm very old school in the native sense of use everything for free first. and use all the free stuff you can before you start on the paid stuff.
Yeah. We're going to be launching a paid campaign for the Uncover website, and
wonderful.
Yeah, it's exciting because the paid campaigns now, because of the improvements in their engine, we've always had success with paid advertising anyway, even at a very, very small scale. When I would test $2 and $3 a day campaigns for seven days, and I would just see the fan base grow from that. So really it's about the image that you use and the first 4 or 5 words that you're using in your ad. And when it comes to the sponsored story advertising, it's the same. You want those first 4 or 5 words in your post to be the most critical bits of information in that post. Actually, we're out of time. It's 2 o'clock, so I want to thank everybody for being here. And I do want to show you one last slide, and that's about us. Marketing Moxie offers WordPress website development services. We do social media marketing integration. We do strategy and planning with you. We do e-newsletter design and campaign development and train you in how to do your own newsletters, or you can hire our team to do that as well. We do identity design, marketing strategy planning, and consulting. You can reach us at info@marketingmoxie.biz or at 971-217-8040. All of this will be posted. If you were on the call today, we'll send out an email once we get the video, this deck, and some of these extra materials posted online, and they're yours to use. All right. Well, thank you so much, and we'll keep you posted about any new changes that are coming down the pipe with Facebook. So everybody have a great day.
Thank you.